Could you imagine getting to play a role as legendary as Roderick, or for any of you ladies watching Snow White or any of the Disney princesses, but end up having it be the death of your acting career? Here are two people that play the roles of two pretty famous fictional characters that ended up practically destroying their careers due to how bad they portrayed them. I was actually pretty surprised to find out that Diary of Wimpy Kid isn't considered a picture book, which may seem obvious to some, but I mean it still has illustrations. That in and of itself was why I thought, even as a kid, that the live action Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies were pretty stupid, or at the very least weird. Because I was under the impression as a kid that only books that weren't picture books could get movies, because obviously that would be justified. The book didn't have any pictures, so obviously a movie would be warranted. But Diary of Wimpy Kid always stuck out like a sore thumb. I'm like, why are they making a movie based on a book that's already easy to read, even when I was a child, but also has pictures nonetheless? It just seemed like a weird thing to do. Diary of Wimpy Kid is iconic, even to this day. The book franchise, at least, because they're still going on one, like their 20th. How the hell is Greg still in middle school? But either way, Diary of Wimpy Kid, the long haul. Aside from the fact that they skipped a huge chunk in the series, jumping from The Last Straw and Roderick Rules, which were combined into Dog Days, to going straight to Long Haul for some reason, obviously and most noticeably, they changed the cast. I know what you're thinking. This is already screaming failure. And you're right. The movie got fucking shat on before the movie even came out, with just the trailers being bombed with dislikes. But oh god, I don't think anyone got it quite as bad as the replacement for Roderick Heffley. But in order for y'all to really feel the pain of the new Roderick, you gotta see his fall from grace. Devin Boswick was the original actor for Roderick. Portray Roderick and show his little tiny short bursts of smartness better than anyone reading it could have. It didn't hit me that Roderick was secretly smart until he started teaching Greg about how to be useless with this. It's always nice to see siblings bond, or even just two people that didn't really get along. Shot herself in the foot. But to be fair, she deserved destroying her acting career way more than Charlie Wright did. From the first release of that cringy teaser trailer of Rachel Zegler yapping about feminists and Snow White, this was the scariest version of Snow White. Here's a bootleg version of Snow White, of a Snow White game for the PS2. Not even made by Disney, but god damn is that terrifying. But after looking at this performance on the inside, I don't know, I think this one might be worse, just for what it has to stand on. Do you remember the 2016 Ghostbusters remake? Which replaced oh my god, when that fucking movie replaced all the cast with females, and how pissed everyone got. I still think this one was less bad, but oh god, Rachel Zegler herself couldn't have set a worse example. Aside from shitting on the original Snow White movie, and then contradicting herself after realizing she shot herself in the foot. This movie was doomed from the start. A feminist or modern take on Snow White, whatever the fuck that means. It just doesn't sound like a decent idea. Snow White being one of the very first Disney movies ever made, should have stuck its legacy as being one of the first Disney movies ever made. None of that has anything to do with it. Her message and meaning, or at least her interpretation of what the Snow White series should stand for, is just so twisted, even darker, and just flat out uncomfortable and uninspired take. It's basically just Lisa Simpson's version of Snow White, but way worse. I've also heard this common complaint about people saying that despite the movie not being fully CGI, it still looks fully CGI.